The only one I had in mind was Alec, and I got him. I was actually thinking of Alec when I was writing this part. I thought this would be a great part for Alec to, you know, he's funny in general. I've known him a while, and he's funny in general, but I think this is, you know, both sides of him, or a few sides of him. You see, this is actually the most truthful performance I think that he's given, just because I know him so well. And that's how he is. He's funny, he has bursts of rage, and then he regrets it, you know, and he sort of goes through that pattern throughout the course of the film. So, you know, I think it really worked well here for him. It was really easy because I would, you know, I really wanted the, you know, look, I love both of those guys, and I wanted a very real dynamic, and it was an opportunity. It's very hard to create that on film, you know, with actors that are not brothers. But when you have real brothers, you go off page a lot, and you just let the camera run. You don't cut, and then things happen, like, you know, Kieran slapping him in the car, and then slapping him again. You know, it's like that wasn't written. You know, that's just the spontaneity of having these two brothers who already have this sort of built-in dynamic. I couldn't find a girl to play this role, and then my casting director called me up and said, I have this girl, Emma Roberts, do you know her? And I said, no, I don't know her work. And she said, good, it's better that you don't know her work. Come in and she'll read for you. And she read, and she came in, and what was very important is that she, unlike a lot of the other young actresses that came in, she made choices within the scene. You know, she made very strong choices. Even if I didn't agree with those choices, she had made the choices. And I said, oh, okay, great, this girl knows how to bring it. And, you know, I hired her as the door shut when she walked out. She was great. You know, forget about the physical transformation that he did for this, because he really was gaunt, and, you know, just, it wasn't makeup. You know, we hardly put any makeup on him at all. He came in that way. And that aside, you know, he just is one of the smartest actors that I know, because he's got very, very good ideas. You know, the way I work is I work very closely with my actors. I get all the shots out of the way before I'm even on set. So I just go in with the actors, and it's just me and them, and I don't really let people talk to the actors and stuff like that, so I really insulate it. And, you know, when you do that and they're comfortable, you know, great ideas come, and Tim is like the fucking idea man. You know, he's got some great ones. I could even point out in the picture that, you know, the sketching. You know, we always knew we'd have him sketching, and the way I had it written originally was that, you know, he finds, I mean, again, this goes to the same goal of let's make what's on the page better, you know, which was sort of my agenda every day and their agenda every day. And, you know, she just finds, we always had the sketches, but she finds the earring in the box. And Tim was like, well, wouldn't it be cool if she found it in, you know, in this sketch, and he put it on there. And I said, that's genius. I mean, so things like that, you know, just little things that you sort of grab from him. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. He's extremely talented, extremely underused, and great actor. I'm going to cast him again and again. You know, in rehearsal, I would see scenes would be flat, and then I would take the actors aside and just throw the dialogue out the window. They already knew the intent of the scene. So once I threw the dialogue out the window, it became, you know, it became a structured improv sort of situation, like with Alec and Jill, when she's throwing them out of the house. You know, there was a scene where, you know, it was a short scene, and she says these things. She says, you know, you make me sick to my stomach. You know, he knows you, whatever. He knows you're fucking other woman. You make me sick to my stomach. Get out of my fucking house. And he says, I'm not leaving. And she says, you're gonna leave. Blah 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 blah. He says, I'm not leaving. And then, you know, finally she basically physically throws him out of the house, and it was flat. It was really flat in rehearsal. And I just peeled her aside, and I said, you know, I'm not even going to tell Alec, we're going to shoot the single first, and I want you to say all these horrible things to him. And I said, you know, make it up. You know, think of the worst possible things you could say to your, you know, better half or other half or whatever. And, you know, and then Alec came alive, obviously, after that. And then I pitted them against each other a little bit when I peeled them apart again, and I said, you know, because the end of the scene wasn't working either. And I just sort of said to Jill, I said, look, this is your house, you know, and he's not leaving. You know, this is your house. And that's all you have to say. You can't get into like philosophical conversations with them, because then, you know, you have to give them actable direction. So this is your house. And then I pulled Alec aside. I said, Alec, this is your fucking house. You built this house with your blood. And, you know, there is the scene, you know. It came alive, thank God. Jill was a pleasant surprise. I had an actress drop out right before we were about to shoot, and there was no one available. And not a knock against Jill. I just hadn't seen her work. I don't watch TV. The only thing I watched was, you know, football, the Jets, Red Favre, and The Sopranos. So I really don't watch TV. I hadn't seen any of her shows, and she's done these sort of procedural type shows. So there was no one available. She came in, and she was just really open to going out on a limb and to doing something she hadn't done before. And I took a shot, and it paid off, because, you know, she just needed the vehicle where she could actually show some range, because when she's stuck in this procedural, you know, expository sort of show where she's just plodding along the whole time, I guess it, you know, doesn't really show chops, but she's got them. In my opinion, she was, you know, a revelation, and I'm really proud of her.